Yes, of course. Think, Phoenix. Think. Think of a place other than the Orca pool room where one could fall to one's death. Then by all means, please share your theory with the court. Where was the real scene of the murder? I mean, I'm just gonna point it here. That's gonna work. The show stage. Yeah. The show stage pool might have been drained of water at the same... at some point as well. I don't think that's actually the case. I think, of course, we're not gonna be able to see the diagram because this game sucks. But he might have been... he might have been transporting the... he might have been transporting the orca with a stretcher, and both of them were actually on it. That's why. That's how he pushed him, and he landed on the rock. And the rock was there at one point. The show stage pool might have been drained of water at some point as well, but he's bluffing here because he doesn't know. He doesn't know how things worked at least at this moment. And if so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the orca pool. Proof. He's gonna ask for proof. Right, Dono. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. I sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. I will, as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the orca pool. How do you explain that? How can you get... I mean, you can't get him back with the stretcher, but how can you press the stretcher again? Oh, you can drop the... you can drop him with the orca again down there.
Objection!
How about if, after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the orca pool? How about if? What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You had better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. There's no turning back now. I have to think of a way the body could have been moved. I'm gonna have to point at the stretcher. Was there something at the scene that could have been used to move the body? It's, I mean, this game is gonna confuse me here. What should I point? Should I point at the stretcher or the hatch? Definitely gonna use the point at the hatch. Thank you. Thank you for no, or the hoist hatch. It's not. Why did I say hatch? Hoist. I was thinking of a hoist, but for some reason, it came out as a hatch. Yeah, that happens sometimes, I guess. The hoist runs between the orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. The stretcher could also have been used to move the dead body. Then shouldn't there be traces of blood on the stretcher? We haven't seen that. We haven't found out that. Yes, if the stretcher can move the orca or the skull rock, it seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. Wow, somehow that worked. It might be able to. I just might be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it. And now we're gonna go through the fact that someone with an access to the someone with an access will have the ability to do that. Then again, that's why we needed the card here. I think it was really important. Was really important for the game not to move the card. I think the record for the cards only shows that the activities that happened on the 20th, and not the activities that happened that happened on the 19th. So that he could have done that at 11:30, for example, 11:30 p.m. It only like 30 minutes away from getting the data to the next day. So that's why I think knowing for sure that nobody used that for sure. Like, I don't remember the records of actually if it's actually showcased that nobody used the cards on the 19th. Even though I gotta be honest, I think it's most likely at least someone would definitely open the orca pool at least once a day to check on the orca and feed her. So if the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it.
Objection.
Huh. You desperately spew conjecture, and now you even make up a crime scene? Oh shit, now he's angry. Eek! Eep! Not again! You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. Because Battlefield games are trash, thanks to EA and DICE. Battlefield games used to be fun. During Battlefield 2 days and Battlefield 2142. This is when Have a Nice Day used to play a lot of Battlefields back in the day. And yes, Have a Nice Day is an old fart, and he used to play a lot of video games in LAN parties. Yeah, I think Battlefield 2142, which came out sometime in 2006 or 2007, was one of my favorite multiplayer games back in the day. Now DICE are trash, and the Battlefield series is doo-doo. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. But what do you mean half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the orca pool room only. Gah. And the only person who entered the orca pool room was the defendant. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself. You know, thinking about it, and actually thinking back of the fact that someone might have used the card on the 20th? On the 19th, I mean? Yeah, it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. All of that still doesn't make sense. Yeah, even my theory doesn't make sense, because in the end, maybe he managed to make the door open at some point before it actually closes. That's why he managed to open up the door, to force the door open in some way. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I cannot explain that. So even if the body was moved, the only one who could have moved it was the defendant herself, or anyone that had access to that room. My hair! Oh, my hair is safe. Order! So it comes back to the defendant, no matter which pool it was? I guess so. Meaning I can clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved Orla and the Skull Rock. And I believe her. So could it be possible that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? What if... Huh. What if the... What if he drugged Orla, and then after he killed Jack, like he forced Jack inside the Orla's body. He forced Orla to swallow him whole, or at least fed him inside her mouth. But it doesn't make sense, right? It still doesn't make sense, because at the very least, Sasha would recognize that Orla is out cold and unconscious. So could it be possible that that she moved the body herself without being aware of it? That's a possibility, but how? Mr. Wright, do you have an objection to Prosecutor Blackwell's claim? Do I have an objection to the claim that the defendant moved the body? I have no objection. I have no objections. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What? Mr. Wright, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No. I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that is what she was doing. The culprit made her move it, unbeknownst to her. The defendant moved the body without recognizing that it was a dead body? How the hell did she do? How the hell did that happen? Like, do we have anything that would say that? Maybe he was, she managed to fit him inside the Skull Rock. Maybe that's the case. That's the only reason. That's the reason why, like, Sasha. That's the reason why Sasha actually tried to crack tried to headbutt the rock at the first place. I think you can actually open the Skull Rock. It's some sort of a chest that you can open. Do we have the whatchamacallit? The flyers? We don't have the flyers, but if I remember correctly, one of the flyers had the Skull Rock with a lot of golds, fit inside of it. So, how would that be possible? The body was found in the Orca pool. It must have been moved there somehow. I might find some kind of a hint in the things she moved with the stretcher. The culprit made Miss Buckler move the body along with this piece of evidence.
Take that!
I'm gonna double down on the Skull Rock. The Skull Rock! Miss Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved to the Orca pool are Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest that the victim's body may have been inside the skull rock. What? Hidden inside the rock. The body could have been moved to the orca pool with the hoists. Hoist, hoist, hoist. At the show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded up the skull rock with the body inside. And then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know that the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the orca pool room and moved the stretcher. I guess that explains the gold. He was buried under the gold, huh? That's the blood, I guess. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. Do you really think there's enough space inside the skull rock to place a body? The swashbuckler flurry indicates it could be possible. But the gold was not inside that. Please focus on the question. Please focus on the question at the bottom. Will obtain the golden coins hidden in the skull rock. Oh, it says who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the skull rock. In that case, I suppose the rock is most likely hollow. Is it big enough for a body, though? That should be the question. I mean, we can find the answer, and the answer is gonna be yes, then, so... No point arguing about that point, because probably... everyone's gonna believe that. Or they might actually just mention that and find out right now. What's more, if the body was inside the skull rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions, such as... Please take a look at the security footage of the scene Miss Monroe witnessed. Where did the body that Miss Monroe saw come from? Please recall. What was Orla doing to the skull rock at this time? She was headbutting it. Oh. That's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the skull rock. The body had been placed inside the skull rock and moved there from the show stage. I assert that the real murder scene was, in fact, the show stage pool.
Silence.
Ha! What rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the skull rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fiber, hair. Ugh! Right, don't know. Mr. Wright, that was incredible! You turned things completely around. And to think, it all started with that half-baked bluff too! Damn, she knew that it was a bluff. Woo! That was a close one. Did you really have to add that last bit? She knew that it was a bluff, goddamn! If the murder took place at the show stage, then who is the perpetrator? It is, naturally, the person who was at the show stage. Mr. Rhymes. Weren't you the one who loaded the skull rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Huh. Wow, Mr. Wright. That was some pretty smart brain work you did there. Or, wow, Mr. Wright, that was some pretty smart brain work you did there. Or, wow, Mr. Wright, that was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it come back to bite me, just like the orca. But Jack, are you confessing you gave false testimony before Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the skull rock. And it's true the captain was killed in the show pool too. He's still gonna say that it was the orca that did it. What? He's admitting? He's admitting it that easily? This time, I'm gonna tell y'all the whole truth about what happened that day. The whole truth. Not the truth, the whole truth. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. What? All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. When Miss Monroe witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. So now we're back to the orca again, I see. If you were going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the Swashbuckler Spectacular. So I suggested she hide the body and the skull rock and move it to the orca pool. I was gonna figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. The orca is the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me, and it wasn't Sasha. So it was Mr. Rhymes' idea to hide the body in the skull rock. But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? He doesn't want to protect Sasha. He was he wants to pin it on the orca. It's vengeance. Is that what he wants? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion. So why? Mr. Wright, how about if you leave this to me? Athena, do you mean you heard something? Yep, noise. Discord in Mr. Rhymes' heart. So that means somewhere in his testimony, there's an inconsistency in his emotions. All right, Athena, give him a good counseling session. You got it, boss. Huh? What's this? Uh-oh. What's happening here? What are you getting, Athena? Aha. This testimony is pretty complex. What's about it? Feeling of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. These two emotions appear to be running out of control. Out of control emotions? Is that going to be a problem? We'll have to probe their cause if we want to get to his true emotions and testimony. There might even be odd or unnatural spots in his testimony he isn't even aware of. He isn't even aware of? That bullshit again? Alright, let's probe the cause of his out-of-control emotions then. I'll explain how to probe. Let's find the root cause together. When you see something off in a testimony, tap the probe button. Next, point to what's causing Mr. Rhyme's out-of-control emotions. Finally, tap probe to complete the process. So, is that gonna be the answer, though? Did they just give us the answer? When emotions are out of control, memories can be recalled incorrectly. If you still haven't found anything after all the statements and images, I'll help. Great. Alright, I'll get started comparing the statements with the images. Alright. In the show pool, the orca shot the captain up into the air. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. Well, I guess that can be the cause of death, right? But how much, like, you can actually fall on a water area of yours, and you can actually crack your neck like that. I can still remember the spectators screaming screams clearly. I'm definitely gonna try and point it that there were no spectators. So I think that's gonna be the inconsistency here. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. Well, I guess she stole his hat. So I was trying to point out that the hat usually the hat that she wears is pink, not black. But I think that's his hair. So was he? They fit the hat inside. Oh, they fit the hat inside as well. Why would you fit the hat though? Why would you bother fitting the hat there? This is complete. Yeah, why would you bother fitting the hat inside? That's really weird. When Miss Monroe witnessed the orca finding the body, I freaked. What could be the cause of this out-of-control sadness and anger? It'd be hard to find them both at the same time. Let's concentrate on probing just one. He did make one odd statement I was wondering about. I highly doubt there were any spectators at the scene of the crime. I actually pointed that out, so... yeah. Hey, good point. That just doesn't fit. Yeah, I hate the fact that... I hate the fact in general that game actually give you like a hint. Just like that, without asking. I think every game that if it actually tries to give you some sort of a hint, it should have been like a separate command asking for a hint at a certain situation, not just, you know, not for someone who's trying to explore dialogue and whatnot. Just the game is gonna give it to you and tell you, hey, this guy might be a dumbass. So let's just give him the hint if he's actually going through all of these dialogues. I'm not going all through all of these dialogues because I'm lost. I'm going through all of these dialogues because I want to explore the dialogue. And that's it. That's a goddamn shame. Hey, good point. That just doesn't fit. This might be the cause of his out-of-control emotions. Point to the spectators. Just to be sure, I'll explain how to probe one more time. Tap the probe button at the statement that seems off. Next, point what you think is causing his out-of-control emotions to the spectators. Finally, probe again to complete the process. But the game pretty much gave me the answer. This game sucks. Alrighty, now since the game gave me the answer, might as well just go with it. And point out the crowd and probe. That's a shame. I doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. What does that indicate, then? Is the game gonna try and do something with that? What? Oh, right, of course. I just made a mistake. 60%. Okay, that made the sadness subside. It's a sadness. So maybe the spectator's part was what was making him sad? I wonder why he would make that mistake, saying spectators were there. How strange. The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another one. He was probably around when when Ajura died. He was probably a part of not necessarily part of the crew, but he was was a visitor, pretty much a spectator himself. Like he was in a similar situation before, and it was deeply imprinted on his heart. A situation where an orca killed somebody and there were spectators there? Hey, I think I know why he's mixing up his memories. The reason why Mr. Rhymes mixed up his memories is...
Take that!
Of course, we're gonna point out that he was there during, you know, the accident that happened a year ago. Mr. Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why you slipped and said the owner was killed in front of spectators. What? How did you... You're right, I did see the orca kill somebody a year ago. But what about it? I was just one of the spectators. Really? Just another spectator? There must be a reason why you feel great sadness about that incident last year.
Silence!
Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point. Eep. Boss, do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here? It's the only thing though. I don't think it's not necessarily evidence. But we have the charm. There's one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Alright, Sonic Hedgehog. Hold your horses. Let's see this evidence that has to do with Marlon Rhymes' sadness.
Take that!
It's the charm, viewers. Ajura Summers died an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. Hey, what are you doing with that charm, goddamn? You know, I'm not gonna say it. I was about to say a joke here, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. It might not be suitable for 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 general viewers. Hey, what are you doing with that charm? It was found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you. I guess I need to push him just a little harder to make him admit it. When Mr. Rhymes said the word charm, he was very rattled. We'd better examine this charm a little more. Examine it? How? Good idea. Let's look inside it. Huh? What's this? A photograph? Damn, nice shirt. I gotta be honest. Hey, this is goddamn Marlin scoring with the waifu. She has big ears though. Have a nice day. How rude. I mean, even Marlin, but at least Marlin is like his actually. The size of his ears actually complements the size of his head, but hers, holy goddamn! You cannot make a phone call next to her. It's gonna disrupt the signal. Hey, this is Ajura Summers and Marlon Rhymes. Wow, what a shocker! Mr. Rhymes. You and Ajura Summers were a couple, weren't you? Ugh. So what if we were a couple? It doesn't have anything to do with the captain's case. You believe you saw the orca kill your girlfriend. That's the cause of your sadness. Isn't that emotion of yours connected to the current case?
Silence.
The only thing you revealed was the witness's relationship with the victim a year ago. What does the witness' past have to do with the case at hand? It has to do with everything, especially since you're trying to push the fact. Well, not necessarily. He's not actually trying to push that fact. There's the fact that someone is trying to push that the orca actually did it. So yeah, it does have something to do with it. So everything revolves around that orca. I don't know yet, but we managed to pinpoint the source of his sadness. Now let's dive into who Mr. Rhymes is angry at. Let me go ahead and go towards, here. All of them are gonna be removed. I can still remember the captain's dead body clearly. No spectators here. Now that his out-of-control sadness has subsided, the situation is a little different. Let's think about why he was so intensely angry. Wait. That's actually pretty interesting. Why would he freak out? For the fact that he found... Well, actually, yeah, because, you know. I guess, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think here is the inconsistency. He's remembering what? Since this testimony was somewhat related to what happened a year ago. I'm gonna point that Yushu is gonna be here. So what's the cause of Mr. Rhymes' intense anger? Well, I don't think it was directed at that. Not directed at Jack? I don't think so. I really do think that it's directed towards Jack. I guess towards the Orca. Naturally. But I thought that's the reason why. That's the reason why he killed him. Because he has to do... Most likely, the captain has something to do with the fact that he was protecting the Orca and didn't want it to... he didn't want them to put Orla down. Let's think about who he was really angry at and why. I mean, that's gonna be obvious, really. It's definitely gonna be the Orca.
Got it.
Maybe that's how she died as well. We don't know how she died. We don't know how she died. There are no bite marks or anything. Mr. Rhymes, you're angry with Orla, aren't you? Angry at an Orca? Why would I be? If you think I have some reason to be mad, then show me some proof. Do I have proof that Mr. Rhymes has a reason to be mad at to be mad? Yes. I bet that evidence we just took a look at would come in handy here. We're not even gonna bother presenting that. This charm indicates that you were Ajura Summer's boyfriend. I'm sure you believe Orla killed your girlfriend a year ago. You lost your girlfriend, and so you've been angry at Orla. All right, I'll admit it. I'll never forgive that Orca. Oh shit. Ajura is dead, and that Orca is still swimming around, happy as a clam. Well, I guess this one is not a pun, so I'm gonna take that. I became an animal keeper just so I could prove that Orca is a killer. God damn. I mean, you didn't have any career, because, you know, recording songs is definitely you're not gonna make it there. You're right. I want that Orca to pay. There. Do you feel good dragging up a person's past? But it still doesn't change anything. He's right. I disagree. It does change things. His out-of-control emotion quieted down. Now we should be able to find out the truth behind that emotion. Alright. In the show pool, the Orca shot the captain up into the air. Nothing changes here. Then the captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember it, clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the Orca. When Miss Diplom witnessed the Orca finding the body, when Miss Marlin witnessed the Orca finding, when Miss Monroe witnessed the Orca finding the body, I freaked. Yeah, sometimes. Apologies for that, viewers. According to my analysis, Mr. Rhymes is usually a very calm person. Let's see if we can find any inconsistencies between his words and his emotions. He didn't freak, though. Yeah, he didn't freak out. When Miss Monroe witnessed the orca finding the body, you freaked. Really? What are you getting at? With Miss Monroe as a witness, Orla was guaranteed to be accused of the murder. Didn't it work out exactly as you'd hoped? In order to have Orla put down, you made sure Miss Monroe witnessed that scene. In the background, goddamn. That's your album cover. There you go. 0 noise level. Bye-bye. So you figured all that out, did you? Mr. Rhymes, are you admitting it? I don't really want to have to fight anybody about the orca. But you leave me to no choice. What the hell? It's gonna turn into a pirate? Is that beer? What the shit?